Good day everyone and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in the blue is Munch, we're gonna call him Munch, and in the red is ASTRASOR, and he'll be playing the Deli. The map is King of the Hill, which kind of cleaves very nicely with Deli playstyle because you have one sacred site and all you have to do is hold that site. On the other hand, when you have 3 sacred sites, you have more gold for the Deli player, whilst King of the Hill you only have 1 sacred site to get gold from, so it could be a double-edged sword wielded against the Deli player. Pretty standard build order for the Deli player. He's going for his 5 on berries, 1 on wood, and 1 on gold to start. And the Mongol player has a great spawn of a TC right next to the gold, which is exactly what you want as a Mongol player. And his Ubu is already up and running, getting him the stone he's going to need to double produce units. I'm going to speed up the beginning a little bit. We have a single scout for the Deli player and a single con for the Mongol player. No one opted to go double scout. Everything pretty standard so far, not much to comment on. Besides the early pasture going up for Munch. He wants a steady trickle of sheep, and he's getting it right next to the Ubu, which is going to produce it a little bit faster. I think it's either, yeah, a minute and something, 20 seconds instead of 2 minutes. ASTRASOR seems to have already clicked up, and he's going up with Dome of the Face, obviously. The Tower of Victory is kind of broken, so no one really uses that anymore. For now, at least. Munch is going up with the deer stones. Kind of no other landmark to go to. Deer stones is a no-brainer. I don't know if everyone knows this, but the deer stone is kind of broken because the YAM network is not really meant to give the upgrade for villagers, but the deer stones for some reason does. If you get the YAM network in Castle Age, you do not receive the buff on the villagers. It's only for traders and military units. So let's see if he got Sanctity. He's queued up Sanctity. He has 3 minutes left. And he has a forest running after the con. Early tower on the sacred side in preparation for inevitable scholar that's on the way. And he begins to wall up. He could have used infantry to do it, but he doesn't have any barracks or archery yet. So he's using a villager in the front, walling it off pretty nicely. And as we say that, Munch is already starting to bring troops up to try and contest that sacred site. We're looking at 4 spearmen and 2 horsemen against 4 horsemen and a tower. Well, 5 horsemen. He has a cheeky scout over there watching everything, so he can see exactly what's coming on the way. Let's watch this engagement and see what he does. He garrisons everything in the tower, which is smart because he can pick off the spearmen. And then he'll have free range to kill all the horsemen. That's a slight mistake over there. He loses the horsemen for no reason. But Munch obviously pulls back when he sees the tower because his spearmen are going to go right down. So now Munch has a decision to make. He has to figure out how he wants to get rid of that tower, or whether he just wants to avoid it altogether and go around it, which is what it seems like he's doing. We have a Gur coming out to the wood line. Oh, that's terrible. What a terrible spawn. Almost no trees besides that tiny little one. And it's kind of the same thing for ASTRASOR. Even on King of the Hill, sometimes you get closer wood lines, but this one is absolutely nowhere to be found. The next nearest wood is up there, and that's tiny. Come all the way up here for the next wood. Military count looking okay for ASTRASOR. He has 7 horsemen, 3 archers, plus another horseman archer there, and the tower is empty. And Munch has 6 horsemen, 6 spearmen, 8 horsemen, 6 spearmen. Let's check in on Sanctity. Sanctity is in, so he should be rallying out a scholar to take the sacred site, which indeed we do see. And he has 3 archers to try and help him deal with the spearmen that are coming in. Munch starts to torch down the outpost. And here we have a confrontation over here. Spearmen get in on the horsemen, the archers try and take it down. Scholars on the back line. Kind of a mismicro on the fight there. I think ASTRASOR lost a couple of units unnecessarily. And now the Mongol player Munch is going to torch down this outpost and get his raid bounty right there. So no sacred site for ASTRASOR just yet. And he's smartly healing up all his damaged units. Get himself back to full health. Munch is starting with a ram. Curiously starting very far away from the opponent. But I guess it's technically not that far. The Khan's getting out what's going on with the army. He sees 8 horsemen, 3 archers, and 6 spearmen. Against 9 horsemen and 8 pikemen, or spearmen. Sending up more units to assist, an archer and 2 spearmen, another 2 spearmen. Munch is about to head out, but then he takes a 180, perhaps waiting for reinforcements. And ASTRASOR is coming in to get the sacred site, and that will probably pull Munch back up towards the sacred site, and it does. Oh, and look at that. He comes to build a wall, and the ram went through, and now he just walls in the ram. I don't think Munch realizes that yet, because he's looking at the fight. And he has no idea what's about to happen. He just walled in his own ram that's going in on the town center, and the rest of the army is stuck up here. Munch seems to have more units, and that's probably due to the double producing of the Ubu, but it looks like, yeah, it's just bedlam over here. Spears on horsemen, horsemen on spears, and it's very hard to tell who's going to come out on top. It looks like Munch is pulling away with it, but not by much. Both took heavy losses. That ram got torched down. Nope, it's heading back up, and it's going to start breaking through the gate, or trying to break through the gate. And ASTRASOR is going to have to head back with the tail between his legs, because he's nearly wiped out, and he's probably going to lose a scholar, and possibly 2. This ram is going to take that wall down. So didn't even get locked in, because if there's one thing that can take down a wall quickly, it's a ram. There we go, 200 a shot. Curious to see what both players will do now, because the Delhi player usually tries to go for a sacred type, but it looks like Munchz is going to hold it for now. And now he's shifting his way over this way because he noticed that the ram just got through. And now he didn't re-wall, so now he's going to lose a villager there as well. And that's Munch's line of attack right now to his base. I think ASTRASOR realizes that, and he's regrouping in front of his town center to try and protect it. No one macroing for an age up, although ASTRASOR has so much gold. He mined gold, and he had the sacred type for a little bit, so now he's stocking up 1600 almost gold, and we'll see what he does with it. He pulled away his spearmen, but he should really get them. ASTRASOR should really get the spearmen in on the horses, which he's trying to do, but it's very difficult to macro. And the archers are focusing on the other archers, and now it looks like the numbers are evening out a little bit. ASTRASOR looks to have repelled this attack very nicely, and he has the reinforcements coming in from closer, so he'll get the upper hand on this fight for now. And Munchz is the one making the walk of shame back right now. Although he does have the numbers and he should be able to take it, but he's waiting for a regroup, it looks like. ASTRASOR macroing up for an age up. I think he might have sold a bit of resources in a market. No. Oh yes, he did. And he ages up with the compound of the defender. So looking to make walls with infantry and not get honed blades. Another ram coming down from Munchz. That wood line's almost gone. He's going to move the girl down over. Let's start another wood line shortly. That's another thing Munchz can do, is move the deer stones up to help give the units a speed bonus. It'll help them in retreating, attacking. ASTRASOR macros up to the next stage, and now Munchz has to decide what he wants to do to combat that as the horseman decides to torch down the mining camp. And that's a bad mistake. You never take your whole army to chase down 2 horsemen. You just send 2 spearmen, keep the army where it is, because now you put up a hole in this side where you have only 2 spearmen to try and beat this army, which is going to get repelled, so you lose 1 or 2 spearmen for nothing. Battering ram getting in on the compound of the defender. Not such a great target because compound of the defender doesn't really do anything for ASTRASOR, so taking it down doesn't really hurt him that much. You want to focus in production buildings or houses. And now we have an archer and archer battle. I think Munchz has the numbers, but ASTRASOR has defender's advantage with the closer reinforcements. He's idling 8 villagers over here. You should really send them to do something. Anything is better than nothing. Horsemen getting in on the archers, and the villagers are now coming in to torch the battering ram, which is good. He has an elephant out, which is going to help him deal with spearmen very well. But again, he has to keep that elephant on the move. If it's staying still, it's going to get torched down by those spearmen. He has to keep it moving to shoot while moving. That way he gets rid of the spearmen without getting hit by them. So pretty solid attack. We only see 1 barracks for him. At this point, he has 800 wood. He should just put down 4 barracks, and try and get as many men-at-arms out as he possibly can, because Munchz won't be able to deal with it at this stage. The villager's getting pulled, which is not great, idling his whole eco. Although he does have 15 on the deer here, but no one on the gold. Finally repels the attack with his men-at-arms. And we'll see how Munchz responds to this. He seems to have clicked up with the stepped readout, obviously, on the gold. And building more pastures. If I didn't give a minute, we have ASTRASOR with 800, probably from that deer giving him a good boost. More men-at-arms on Spearman battle. These archers are barely poking the men-at-arms. So 4 armor, and they have 6 ranged attack, so they're basically doing 2 damage a shot. So to take down 155 hit points is going to take them forever. Let's see what ASTRASOR decides to do after winning that fight. He's going after the sacred site again. And let's see what Munchz decides to respond with. Crossbowman, very smart. And a siege workshop. Did he rebuild the Nuvo? Oh no, he didn't rebuild the Uvu. That's a big mistake. No rebuilded Uvu. Yeah, next time the second the Uvu is depleted, pop one down over there, shift all your military buildings over so you can double produce units. Now he's not collecting stone, so he won't be able to double produce anything because he hasn't been collecting stone for a while. He's moving the gird down over there. Try and collect the deer that are over here. And now he's sitting on 3 archers, 4 crossbows. Not ideal. He just doesn't have an eco to build up an army. ASTRASOR sitting on 1800 wood. He should really re-macro to something else. Farms. Or something. Or food. Shift them all out of food. Force is building for him, and he's just stonewalling everything. Stonewalling all the things, and he has a sacred site. I'm not sure when he captured it, but we'll get a notice 3 minutes before he has a sacred site victory. Now post was supposed to go up here, but never made it, probably because the villager died on the way here. Stone tower on the sacred site. Doesn't appear that ASTRASOR wants to stonewall anything else. Let's see what happens here. Step moving over to the new gold mine. And the composition is looking pretty good with 10 crossbows, a couple knights, and the rest is just some 5 spearmen. 3 spearmen and 5 archers. This force does not look large enough to deal with a Springle tower and a lot of men-at-arms. 24 men-at-arms is going to be hard to deal with this little force. It appears that Munchz doesn't have an eco to produce that much. And now he's going to have to deal with stone walls. We'll see if he gets them up in time. Oh, he did rebuild the Uvo. Oops. That's me being kind of brain dead or just no eyes. Okay, so this is good. You can shift the production to the Uvu if he wants. Sacred site counting down, and it appears that ASTRASOR has completed his walls, and now we'll have to see how Munchz does it. Now we see that ASTRASOR did not finish the walls over here, so we'll have to see if he decides to do that or just leave it with wood. Oh, now we see military productions moving up to the Uvu. And we have a relic being picked up somewhere. Not exactly sure where. Farm already begun. That's nice. Farms. Professional scouts out for Munchz. He's ferrying the deer back to the Gur, I guess. Oh, this is not good. The gold villagers are going to this Uvu, and they're not going to step redoubt, or at least some of them are. Gotta get that Gur out of the way, because they'll keep going back to the Gur, and they won't be dropping off more resources than they're supposed to. Rams out to take down the wood walls, and the military is just going to build some fresh stone ones, as we have a quick wall coming out. And now the Rams will have to deal with stone walls. Munchz sees that and tries to go around, but little does he know that the rest is all stone as well. Do we see a gate happening? A gate is happening. And a siege tower is out for Munchz. He's looking to get up on those walls and get down over. Two siege towers, 3 siege towers out. I gotta admit, I've barely seen siege towers being used, so this is exciting for me too. Oh no, but now ASTRASOR with the castle. I don't think there's anything Munchz could do about that. He does not have nearly enough men to deal with that, and double mangonels coming out, but they won't be able to deal with a garrison castle. And on top of that, ASTRASOR has thought of that, and he has 3 Springolds waiting for any siege. Siege tower is on the way, and they're unloading on the walls. And there we have a battle on top of the walls. Hard to see what's going on and how many units are where. Archers on the wall. They will take less damage from the crossbows below, but we have mangonels coming out, and that's going to just destroy any clumped up units on that tower, on that wall. And it looks like it's going to be GG. It's only a matter of time before Munchz gets cleaned up over here. ASTRASOR over goes out. Oh, and we broke through the walls. I did not see how those walls were broken. Very curious. Wish I could have watched that, but I did not. Can't be at more than one place at one time. And now knights are in the back line. I think a better plan for those knights would have been to raid the eco and not try and get here, because this is indefensible. But then again, I don't know where the sacred site tracker is, so I don't know how much time he has to get rid of that. But it looks like cleanup, and Munchz taps out. Great game, very well fought. Didn't give the Delhi player the sacred site early, but eventually got overrun by stone walls and just overproduction of units by Munchz there. Alright, good game, and let's go for round 2.